I'm Davison, and you're not going to like me very much. Hey everyone, it's been 2 minutes and I haven't been raped yet, but I sure feel like my mind has been raped. Political correctness is a scourge upon our society. Rape, rape, rapey rape. Her voice is like fingernails on a blackboard. Fucktards, go back to the kitchen. You're not ready to play with the big boys. The power is in your hands, women. It has always been in your hands. Women were never oppressed. A complete cunt. That's a terrible thing to do. You're a very bad person.
Right, so that's another Canadian. That's 3 out of the last 5 in this series have been from Canada. Look, Canada, we need to talk, okay? We're all here because we love you. But you're hurting those around you. And you're hurting yourselves. So this is an intervention. We're all here because we love you. So please, please, stop producing so many massive dickheads. Hello there, hello there, hello there, and welcome to episode 26 of The Descent of Man-osphere, the series where I take you through the ways in which the Man-osphere and its utterly disgusting inhabitants are trying to reverse human evolution and drag us all back into the fucking sea. And today we're dealing with a Canadian femme and femigtau as well. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Anyway, it's Diana Davison, who many of you may know as the owner-operator of the Herpaderpapalooza channel here on YouTube called Feminism LOL. Yeah, seriously, that's the name of her channel. Now, as I said, she's sort of a femme, sort of a femigtau. That sounds mental because it's supposed to be men going their own way. I know, it's incredible, okay? But just like all the rest of the MGTOWs, she fucking hates women. So she sort of counts as a femme-MGTOW thing. And you can tell how much she hates women because she's actually in a relationship with John the Other.
What the hell? I ain't with that girl.
No, not you, John the Otter. John the Other. The other John. John the Other.
Oh, that's okay then. Bye, y'all.
Alright, see you later, John. Rory Katz, why'd you keep fucking letting him in?
What is the problem? He's a cool guy.
Yeah, I know he's a nice guy, but he keeps interrupting me when I'm fucking filming.
I do not care about this. Get me the chicken. Get me all of the chicken.
Okay, Rory Katz, I'll get you some chicken in a bit. I'm just doing the video. But anyway. Yes, now as I said, she's a MGTOW, or a WGTOW, possibly, if that's a thing. I don't know. Anyway, and just like the rest of the MGTOWs, she fucking hates women.
Women, or female psychology, if you will, is shallow, greedy, irrational, selfish, and solipsistic. And then they cater their manipulation to those things. All of the mannerisms of women that are used in seduction are very subtle. That's why you can't trust women, because it's very easy to pull off a lie. You have to work harder than that to get trust back, and men shouldn't trust women. The level of devotion a woman shows towards entering the classic domain of men, the workforce, and remaining there, is mostly based on her level of desire to prevent men from existing outside the control of women. That's why I made a video, which I guess I'll also link below, saying, women judges shouldn't be in the court system. Even if we shunt Betty Friedan aside, we're left with a constant barrage of the modern female entitlement. Because some women are more retarded than others. Fucktards, go back to the kitchen. You're not ready to play with the big boys. Hey everyone, it's been over 2 minutes and I haven't been raped yet. I'm feeling very left out. And women are undeserving of male companionship.
Do you see what I mean? I mean, she absolutely fucking hates women, clearly, to the point where I would be very surprised if she hasn't tried to, I don't know, sandpaper her own vagina off or something. I don't know, is that how it works? I'm not sure, okay? I'm not a fucking surgeon. And you can tell how much she hates women, because she even fucking despises women in the MRM.
Not just, like in my last one, how women manipulate men, but how women metagame and and how to see through it. And a lot of these female MRAs aren't here for the right reasons. Hey everyone. I'm breaking from my traditional format for my videos because I want to deal with something that's in the news that most people have probably heard of, which is women against feminism. And I have a challenge for women against feminism. Because there's a difference between being an anti-feminist and being an anti-gynocentrist. Women exercise covert power so deftly that even the women who support the men's movement have been cheered while spouting gynocentric nonsense. So this video came out by Brave the World, or Julia Turiansky, in the last week, and it caused a fair bit of stir. So much of a stir that MRAs and MGTOW, who are not connected and normally don't get along, kind of united in their hatred of this girl. There's a term that I hear in the MGTOW community quite often, which I love, which is navel gazing. Women are navel gazing. They're completely absorbed with themselves and the way they look. So women against feminism. I want to believe in you, but I don't fucking trust you. I think that's the case with women against feminism. Some of these women aren't so retarded as the other women, but unless they show us that they aren't gynocentric, then they're still retarded.
I can only imagine that this must originate from the fact that she fucking hates the fact that she herself is a woman. Because while self-hatred is obviously not always the reason for all these sorts of things, in this instance, I can't see any other reason for it. But anyway, talking about her hatred of women, now it's time for... Yes, it's the almost inevitable bit about Lacey Green. Fuck yeah!
Now, Diana has made two videos about Lacey Green. The first one is called Lacey Green is Stupid, which is just rank hypocrisy on Davison's part. Then a couple of months after that one, she made a sort of follow-up to that video entitled, Why Doesn't Lacey Green Teach Good Blowjobs? Now, that's just amazing. I don't even know where to begin examining the fucking absolute madness behind putting out a video entitled that. I really don't. But anyway, it is to the second of those videos that we now turn to have a look. Take it away, D-Bomb.
So let's look into this in more detail, and I'm going to explain it for those Lacey Green fans because I know they're a little bit slow and a little bit immature. In Lacey Green's Consent 101 video, she starts out talking about rape and sexual assault.
Sexual contact without consent is assault or rape.
But then she ends up talking about something called sexual coercion instead.
Here's the thing, people often think of sexual coercion as something that's, violent or physically restraining. In reality, sexual coercion is often much more subtle. It happens between two people who know and maybe even trust each other.
Oh no! Lacey, in the same video, went on to address a different element of an incredibly complex and multifaceted issue. What a fucking monster!
So why is this important? Sexual coercion, sexual assault, what does it matter? Well, it matters because the statistics that feminists spout are based on bullshit surveys. So Christina Hoff Sommers, also a feminist for those who are worried about listening to a misogynist or something like that, Christina Hoff Sommers has done some research on the source of that statistic.
Yes, that's right. She cites Christina Hoff Sommers as the source for her claim. And somehow she thinks that that makes it more credible rather than much, much less credible. Because let me spell this out for all you anti-feminist dickheads out there, okay? Regardless of what she claims to be, Christina Hoff Sommers is not a feminist. At all, okay? And do you want to know why I'm so sure about that claim? It's because bigoted anti-feminist shitstreaks like Diana Davison keep using her as a fucking source. The material that Christina Hoff Sommers produces is anti-feminist. She is an anti-feminist.
Christina Hoff Sommers has done some research on the source of that statistic, which is Mary Koss's study for Ms. Magazine.
We don't live in a rape culture, but we do inhabit a culture saturated with gender propaganda. Call it a misinformation culture. And nowhere is the misinformation more rampant than in the area of sexual assault.
Koss and her colleagues concluded that 15.4% of respondents had been raped, and that 12.1% had been victims of attempted rape. Thus, a total of 27.5% of the respondents were determined to have been victims of rape or attempted rape, because they gave answers that fit Koss's criteria for rape: penetration by penis, finger, or other object under coercive influence, such as physical force, alcohol, or threats. However, That is not how the so-called rape victims saw it. Only about a quarter of the women Koss calls rape victims labeled what happened to them as rape. According to Koss, the answers to the follow-up questions revealed that only 27% of the women she counted as having been raped labeled themselves as rape victims. Of the remainder, 49% said that it was miscommunication, 14% said it was a crime but not rape, and 11% said they don't feel victimized.
Well, I'm not going to defend that particular study or indeed the numbers that Diana Davison quotes from that study, okay? Because frankly, for the point I'm about to make, it really doesn't matter if any of them are true. But what I will say is that when the brain undergoes an incredibly traumatic experience, like having gone through a rape or something like that, it will try to rationalise those events to try and help you cope with that scenario. And it will try and rationalise it in a few of the ways you just mentioned there. Like, they'll say things like, oh, well, it was just a miscommunication, or, oh, it might have been a crime, but it wasn't like rape, or something like that. And it's just a way of coping with the incredibly traumatic thing that you've just undergone. And not only that, but the brain is so adept at performing these kind of mental gymnastics that some victims will convince themselves that not only were they not raped, but that they were the aggressor, they were the pursuer of that sexual activity. It's a way of trying to regain control of the situation after the fact. It's just a way of dealing with it. So clearly, just because someone doesn't think they've been raped, or at least outwardly says that they don't think they were raped, doesn't mean that they weren't raped.
Alright, now according to Lacey, normal male sexual activity, this, needs to be dealt with. And she calls herself sex positive, but really what she's doing is creating another myth. She is creating the idea that women are owed good sex, that every time you engage in sex, it should be pleasant, and it will be pleasant if it's done right. And she's supposedly a sex educator. Now, the reality, and I'm sorry to tell you this for all the Lacey Green fans who may be watching, is that you're probably going to have a lot of bad sex in your life.
Yep, there speaks the sexual partner of John the Other. That story very much checks out.
I mean, look at this bloated old twat. Looks like he'd struggle to pleasure a fucking mouse. I bet it don't touch the sides, does it, lad?
Alright, so let me slow down for any of the Lacey Green fans. I know they're struggling right now because they've been tricked. They think they're watching a sex ed channel. She's just teaching sex ed, right? But no, she's not. She's teaching feminism.
I have to come clean. I, Lacey Green, am a feminist. When I speak at universities about the absolute necessity of consent, there are people in the audience who laugh.
You have got to be fucking kidding me. I mean, you really have. You can't be that mental, surely. Firstly, you claim that Lacey has tricked her subscribers into following a feminist channel. Then you show a clip of her from her video on her fucking channel openly admitting to being a feminist. Lacey Green is one of the most well-known and popular feminists here on YouTube. So how the fuck has anyone been tricked at all, you fucking mental case? Now, when it comes to the issue of rape, and yes, we're going there, people. You knew that was going to happen because it happens in every fucking episode of this series because it's about the Man-osphere and they're obsessed with rape. Anyway, so when it comes to the topic of rape, Diana Davison wants to be taken seriously, but it's very difficult to take her with any level of seriousness because up until very recently, she started her videos like this.
Hey everyone, it's been over 2 minutes. I haven't been raped yet. Guess I'll just have to start without you. Hey everyone, it's been over 2 minutes and I haven't been raped yet. I'm feeling very left out. Hey everyone, it's been over 2 minutes. Haven't been raped yet. Looks like a good day. Hey everyone, it's been 2 minutes. I haven't been raped yet. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey everyone, it's been over 2 minutes and I haven't even thought about being raped yet. Until now. Damn you feminists. Hey everyone, it's been over 2 minutes. Haven't been raped yet. But I was subjected to Windows 8.
I know, it's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, but it gets even worse because, again, up until very recently, she used to end her videos like this.
And now for the rape joke of the week. And now for the rape joke of the week. And now for the rape joke of the week. And now for the rape joke of the week. And now for the rape joke of the week. Here's the rape joke of the week. And now for the rape joke of the week. And now for the rape joke of the week.
Yes, she used to do a rape joke of the week. Now, I'm not going to actually show you any of those rape jokes because they're fucking disgusting by and large, and you don't really need to hear them to realise that that's what's taking place and all the rest of it. So we're just going to move on. And as crazy as all of that isn't even the inevitable bit about rape. This bit is. Yes, it's the inevitable bit about rape. Yay! Now, there's so much to choose from with rape apology and general fucking false rape hysteria nonsense with Diana Davison that there's almost too much to choose from. And there's also the fact that she's in a relationship with John the Other, who is one of the most disgusting rape apologists here on YouTube's. I mean, I really don't know how bad your self-esteem has to be to share a bed, to literally make love to a man that disgusting, that creepy, and frankly that fucking wrong. But anyway, the thing I've gone with is a very recent video of hers about the Brock Turner case, or at least in theory about the Brock Turner case.
Hi everyone, I'm Diana Davison, and I've been asked by a lot of people to talk about the case of Brock Turner.
Yes, I'm sure someone like you will deal with this incredibly sensitive topic with all the delicacy of a hippo wearing steel toe-cap boots.
And I've been asked by a lot of people to talk about the case of Brock Turner. This is a former Stanford University student who was arrested for and convicted of sexual assault on campus. And it was turned into a high-profile case.
No. This wasn't turned into a high-profile case. This was always going to be a high-profile case. He was already a high-profile athlete at a very high-profile university who was convicted of a fucking rape. This was always going to be high-profile. Now, that might seem like semantic nitpicking, but it's actually very important because this is the spin that a lot of Manospherians try to put on this story, to try and make people feel sorry for him, to say, oh, well, he wasn't given a fair trial, or he was treated harshly because this was turned into a media circus. Whereas actually, in fact, he was treated with ridiculous, disgusting, frankly fucking evil leniency. He was given the custodial equivalent of a slap on the fucking wrist for committing one of the most disgusting crimes that a human being could possibly commit. Rape culture, anyone?
Actually, it was turned into a lot more. In The New Republic, Lisa Wade writes, "The hyper-masculine violence of Omar Mateen and Brock Turner. Two violent men, two symptoms of the same sickness." So here, Brock Turner is being compared to the Orlando shooter. Now, they complain that whenever a case of false rape allegations, and I say they meaning feminists, that men's rights activists or anti-feminists take that case and try to blow it into something out of proportion.
Fuck you, you smug piece of shit. And yes, by the way, MRAs constantly do that. They use any instance of a convicted false rape allegation to try and smear all women, and they try and use that as evidence that basically all women are total fucking scum. So, you know... Did you like my smug face there?
So if they want to take a case of a person who was, I think, rightfully convicted of sexual assault and use that to claim that such a thing, a hyperbolic thing as rape culture exists, well, I'm going to throw at them some cases that nobody has really heard about that come from an organization that actually supports Title IX inquiries on campus. They advocate for either side, whichever one they think is correct, but they generally support the movement into consent culture, and they support the general feminist narrative about what sexual assault trials should be treated as.
Hang on there. Whoa there. Are you saying you have a problem with consent culture? You have a problem with consent culture? You have a problem with a culture where the gaining of sexual consent is the norm? I mean, I know that a lot of MRAs have that sort of thing about them, right? Where they don't want to have to deal with these things like the trivial annoyances, like gaining sexual consent before engaging in sexual activity with people. I know that, right? Okay. But it's rare for an MRA to be honest about that. So well done to you for that, but also fuck you for holding that opinion. It's disgusting. She then goes on to explain 3 stories from that college rape organisation that she was talking about of false rape allegations, and all 3 of them do look absolutely like false rape allegations, but she doesn't then go on to make a point about that. She literally just briefly relays the stories as if that means something about the Brock Turner case somehow. I don't know why she did that. It was such a waste of everyone's fucking time. And she then, at the end of the video, moves on to explain this thing she wants to do, this sort of internet-y type research thing, and she asks for help from other people to help with the research and all the rest of it, around the topic of false rape allegations. And in doing so, she reveals her industrial strength confirmation bias.
So I think it's time to gather the stories of false accusations. There is a website, a really great website, called Community of the Wrongly Accused. I'll put a link to that in the low bar for anyone who doesn't know about it. And I want to start collecting stories. I get contacted all the time by men and boys who've been falsely accused of sexual assault. And I haven't been able to help them all that much, but I can try to help them help others by collecting their stories and isolating out how these false allegations take place, the problem of what women are calling rape nowadays, and start doing some actual studies.
Did you pick up on that, right? She says that lots of men contact her about being falsely accused of rape. But I thought you people were against listen and believe. I presume these men are contacting you via the internet. I presume they're not turning up at your door with like boxes and bags full of court evidence and court documents and stuff that conclusively prove that this was a false accusation against them, or even that any accusation was ever made against them. So I presume these people have emailed you or contacted you via Twitter or Facebook or something like that, okay? And so you're prepared to listen and believe those false rape accusation accusers, even though you have literally just their word to go on. It's not even he said, she said. It's literally just he said. But yet you do the typical Man-osphere thing of doing the ultra-sceptical fucking I'm not going to believe anything until I have absolute proof, when it's a woman coming forward to report a rape. Confirmation bias much? I mean, you literally only have the say-so of these individuals that an accusation even took place, let alone that it was an actual false allegation. So, you know, fuck off with your biased bullshit. Now, that came at the end of the video, right, and where she requests help from people with this research. Now, at no point during the video, other than the bit at the very beginning where she says she's going to talk about the Brock Turner case, does she actually even mention the Brock Turner case. So she says at the start of the video that she's going to address a case that involved an actual fucking rape, a man convicted, and yet she as an MRA does the typical thing and spends the entire fucking video talking about false rape allegations rather than the actual rape which we know took place. It's fucking ludicrous. But anyway, let's wrap this show up, shall we? Because quite frankly, I'm sick of Diana Davison at this point. There really is only one thing to say about Diana Davison, and that is that she fucking despises women. That's the core of her being here on the internet anyway. That's very much her shtick, you know? So in that respect, she's just a sort of bog standard commoner garden MGTOW, albeit that she's got different bits going on downstairs. Although even though she hasn't actually got a cock, she's probably still got a bigger cock than most MGTOWs. But anyway, it's an entirely different surreal matter. Diana Davison, go fuck yourself.
I'm so young and you're so old. This, my darling, I've been told. I don't care just what they say, 'cause forever I will pray. Birds up in the trees. Oh, please stay by me, Diana. Thrills that I get when you hold me close. Oh, my darling, you're the most. I love you, but you do love me. Oh, Diana, can't you see? I love you with all my heart, and I hope we'll never part. Oh, please stay with me, Diana. Oh, my darling, oh, my lover, tell me that